All right, we've already started having a good time.
Oh, already having a good
Because of Alvin Parker. That's Hey, we want to welcome you all to Popcorn Conversations, to where we handle issues one pop at a time. So thank you all for joining us tonight, or if you're listening to the replay, thank you for listening to the replay. I think tonight is going to be exciting. It's going to be life-giving, and it's going to be a very engaging discussion regarding our spouses. But we could not have this show if we did not have the dynamic couples that we have on here serving as our co-hosts. So you all, let's welcome to the Popcorn Conversation Show by Power Couples Rock, Pastors Alvin and Victoria Parker. What's up, people?
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yeah, the Nashville area with True Work Center. And you all, if you have not heard their ministry online, please go to True Word Christian Center and look at their services, look at their social media, because they're doing some amazing things and they're preaching that word, and they're seeing the fruit of their labor, because people are truly coming in, being blessed by worshiping in their place. And I do have to tell you, Alvin, I did stalk you guys on social media, and it was wonderful that your men, I know, stalker, I am, that your men went out to do axe throwing. That was fun. That was like a ton of fun that you all did.
Yes.
They had a great time. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and so we finally found a place where we could do it that was nice, and we went downtown, and the guys really enjoyed it.
You guys looked like you guys were having a blast.
Yeah,
that's
it was fun. And a couple of guys whipped us real good, but we had a good time.
Nobody got hurt then, too, either, right?
No,
So we were good.
no. Extreme safety rules were followed. Yeah,
That's good.
Pulling action before somebody throws. They have to wait till everybody throws.
That's right. Axe throwing. So I love that sport as well. And then we also have all the way from Birmingham, Alabama, but their home
You better put
is
in.
in Ohio.
Okay.
Cincinnati, Ohio. Adam and Adrian Nixon. I did not forget that.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you.
What's up, good people? How are you guys doing?
We are
Yeah.
last watch of the day.
Let's watch us today. But I know you are
King James style right there.
King James style.
He's a King James.
Well, we were praying for you all this weekend, because we know that you all celebrated a major milestone with your church, with you all being there for 25 years. That was, please, how was it? And plus, our Pastor Chandler was there for the weekend. Give us a quick synopsis. Give us a quick synopsis of how everything went.
It was amazing. It was everything that it was supposed to be.
Yeah, people were kind, generous, thoughtful, and people don't have to do that. So we just appreciate all of it.
And Adrian was beautiful. I got the dress she had on. Oh my gosh.
That's out loud.
Yeah, you know, every now and then.
Right in. You loving it out. You loving her right now out loud with your word.
Yeah, I saw
You
her.
loving her in church.
Put it on, and I was like,
That
you
word.
know what I mean? I was like, okay. All right, okay.
That's what we doing now. Okay.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
I love
We
it.
had a good time. We got to have dinner with Pastor and Diane, on Saturday night.
Yes.
And it was just chill. It's so interesting hanging out with folks who like mentored you, and and
In your corner.
Yeah. And then just thinking about the time that has passed.
He married us.
Yeah, he sang at our wedding, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Good.
it
was good.
It was awesome.
Thank you all.
It was awesome. All of the prayers that were issued up.
Did all the kids come back?
just smooth. No, Ariel's the only one who could come back.
Okay.
Rachel's in her final stretch of the year,
Got it.
and Ben has to work because he got 3 babies. So
I love it.
So I remember that age, and I'm like, if you got to be back to work on Monday,
No,
then
it's okay. We understand.
Okay.
I love you, but I love you being able to pay your bills too. Because
Yes.
That's
when
right.
you pay them, I don't have to. But that's the name of Jesus. No, it was good though. Everybody sent their love, sent their regards. Had a friend, who's a chaplain in the Army. And he's based out of LA. Just comes walking through the door like it wasn't nothing. And I was like, yo, I'm like, yeah. So
Another way of loving out loud.
yeah,
People show up.
when people actually pull up. And
Come on.
yeah, he didn't, and I had no idea that he was gonna be in the building. So it just, and some friends from guy I used to serve at the mission with pops up and like, hey, and I'm like, yo, okay, some little social media messages.
I can feel your just passion and energy in all of this.
But there was a super calm undertone because I had some anxiety because I don't really like those things to begin with or whatever. But it was just genuine, authentic.
Good.
Yeah, the meals were good.
You're helping to set up tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
He is definitely.
Okay.
Go ahead. Well, all right then. Well, tonight what we're talking about is loving each other out loud. And I know you're probably like, what is loving out loud?
Yeah.
And tonight we're just going to talk about what do we do visibly? What are we doing verbally? How do we love verbally out loud? How do we be visible and love out loud? And how do we intentionally love out loud? So with your words, with your actions, and with your presence, we're talking about that.
Thank you very much. Usually, verbally, and voraciously.
Yes.
So that is what we are talking about because we know life can be busy. And we want to make sure, even in the busyness, sometimes your temper, your patience becomes short, and you may not show the love out loud that you need to show. And we want to make sure that you continue to show that no matter what season of life you're in. So let's talk about how do we love out loud with our words.
Loving out loud with your words.
With our words.
Come on, Alvin and Victoria, because you guys do a great job of
he does that for me quite often. Some people that said that calm in the storm, even as simple as today, I called him, I was irritated driving home from work today. And he just sat there, he listened and listened and listened. And then he said, can I encourage you with something? I knew it was coming. What am I going to say? And he just has a way of being able to tell me exactly what I need to hear to put me in the right space or to, get me off the track. Sometimes it's like, I don't need you to fix nothing. I just need you to let me vent. Let me say what I got to say, And there are other times I don't say that, and he knows that's his cue to interject what he knows that I need to hear. And so, that happens. I mean, and he does that verbally. I mean, he does nonverbal stuff. A couple of weeks ago, I think I was at work and he was getting ready to go to meet somebody for lunch out of town or something. But before he left, he got on the grill and cooked all of these varieties of meats.
Wow.
So when I came home, all I had to do was put a vegetable with it. I didn't even have to think about cooking. Wow. You know what I mean? So he does verbal and nonverbal things like that. It's like, man, I don't even have to figure out what I'm going to eat when I get home. Already got it ready for me. I just got to take it out and warm it up.
Warm it up.
I'm a carnivore anyway. I ain't got to have no vegetables. Eat it bread and I'm good.
I think that's beautiful that you talk about how he says those things out loud. And it's not a forced thing, Alvin. Like you are watching and studying and looking at your wife, and we'll get to the mixing down here when he was talking about the dress she was wearing when she came into church. You're supposed to be focusing on something else, but that's okay.
That's okay.
I was thanking God for his goodness.
I see.
And sometimes words are hard for people to say. I know we have talked to several couples who say, you know, they know I love them. I don't need to say it. They know I love them. And but the other spouse is saying, but I would love to hear that. So what are some of your thoughts on that? If someone say, Alvin, they know I love them. I don't have to, you know, show up. I'm here every day.
That's a sad way of, well, not sad way. That's a big misunderstanding, because people do need to hear words. Because words encourage, words bring life, words bring inspiration. Words are the most powerful things in the universe. We actually live in a word planet. It was created by the word. And God made us uniquely different than any other creation, is that we can use words. And our words, they either build up or they tear down. So people need to hear, as well as their actions, people need to hear that you love them. People need to hear what you think about them, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, Matthew 12:34. So if you don't have anything to say to me, then there must not be anything in your heart, and definitely not me. Because if I was in your heart in abundance, there would be some type of expression towards me. Because people don't have any problems expressing themselves about other things. So why not?
How do you do that? How do you do that for Victoria? Because Victoria gave some really good examples of how you love her out loud. Talk to me about your perspective on that, with what you do, with what she does for you.
Well, she's the same way. It's the communication is always there. There's no misunderstanding about where us are coming from, because we're constantly talking to one another. And I think it's just practicing gratitude and being mindful of what you have. And when you start thinking about the goodness of God and how faithful God has been to you, you purposely meditate on those things and think on those things. You look at your spouse and you're like, man, I think it was one time she was, my wife washes. And for me, I don't know about anybody else, and I like having some clean underwear, clean sheets, and my wife washes all the time, so everything smells good. And I just remember one time I was walking in the house and she was folding clothes on the bed, and I just picked up the pillowcase or something. I went, I said, because some folk don't know how to do that. You know, I grew up in a home like that, so that makes home. I just think it's recognizing the little things and saying, hey, thank you for taking care of that. Thank you. I recognize that. It may not seem big to you, but it's big to me. It's big. I always have extra toothpaste, and I don't have to say we out. I can because that's how she thinks. I appreciate that.
Her crying over there.
I just think that's what she does. She's always thinking of me and what I need and how to be helpful. And I think when you love one another and the love of God flows in you, love does not seek its own way.
Yes, that's right.
What 1 Corinthians 13:4-8 says.
Yeah. And you did that. You were demonstrating that, and y'all do it through words, but you also doing it through action. And it's not that you have to be told to do it. It's that it's the love of God and love of Christ in your heart. It's just like something you want. You want to do that for your spouse, and you can feel like it's nothing. That's what I want to do. I just want to go. I'm going to ask Adrian about this, because you mentioned like we didn't grow up doing some of those things. You know, sometimes people like, that's not my background. That's not how. So we didn't grow up hugging. We didn't grow up doing that. But how, if you're in a marriage, how do you take those things that maybe you didn't do, but to make it relevant in your relationship?
Wow. We had to learn through experience and teaching other couples. First, before you can say it out loud, we need to know how each other hears the language.
Oh, talk to me like that.
Prime example has nothing to do with couples. You'll see on movies or TV, somebody's visiting another country and they're trying to speak English when the language where they're visiting, they don't know it. So what do they start doing? They get louder and they embarrass themselves. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Louder
First
is
of all,
not more effective.
The point getting across is not clear, and you got louder, or the dialect was wrong. So if he doesn't hear what I'm saying the right way, which I learned, I need to switch it up and see what he's hearing. Don't say it loud first. Learn what they are hearing, what they grew up with, learning and understanding what love is, and then start turning up the volume and showing it with your actions so that it's communicated, it's received as love, not you're yelling at me and I'm showing you your language, but that's not how I understand it.
Victoria, you said something about Alvin knowing what you needed to hear, and that comes with practice. That's a discipline. It comes with like paying attention, and learning, learning again how your spouse hears. But one of the things I wanted to say, kind of practically, which we didn't have to learn how to do, and I don't know really where it came from because it wasn't modeled for us, but we tell each other that we love each other when we're waking up, when we're going to sleep, when we're parting ways. It's not a something that, it's just one of those things that when we mad, sometimes when you want to say it, when you hugging each other, we routinely, and it's to the point now where our children do it, and they do it with their friends, and we do. It's one of those things that it needs to be said out loud, often, because there are so many people walking around here who have never heard somebody say, "Hey, I love you." You know, me and the group of men that I hang out with, we say it to each other when we greet each other and when we're departing from one another. It ain't nothing weird or funky about it. It's just a matter of that word needs to be released because it's healing. People, and again, to remind somebody that they're loved, not because of, but just because. Right. When somebody is down or broken or struggling or messed up on the inside or grieving or lamenting a mistake that they made, those are the times when you need to hear it the most, right? That's when you need to feel it. And so, it's a practice of ours. We don't go all day, every day without looking each other in the face. Now, we have had, because of busyness, had to be like, stop, let me look at you, and not just pass it off as something kind of just like a platitude, but make sure you're slowing down and looking at each other and confessing that to one another regularly, because like Alvin said, it has to be said. And there is so much being thrown at us all day, every day, telling us not to love ourselves, telling us lacking, telling us that you don't look the way you ought to, or you don't have what you should have, or you're not performing well. There's so much that we're to have somebody look at you and say, you know what, I love you. Sometimes it's funny, get in an odd time, and you'd be like, what? Wait, what did I do? I'm like, nothing.
I know when Catherine tells me like, I love you, and I, at one point I was like, I don't know why she says that. I don't know why she loves me so much. Because I couldn't receive that love because I just didn't know how.
You felt like it had to be earned or something.
Oh yeah, or that was just not. I didn't feel like I was like good enough for her to love me unconditionally like she does, even though I love her that way. but I just have. It's always been hard for me to receive that kind of love, that kind of unconditional love, and I just sit there in awe and wonder, like, when she's saying that to me, for me to be able to wholeheartedly receive that. I know she does, but just hearing those words just makes my heart dance. And it's like, I just thank God, say, God, you have blessed me with someone that I know I probably don't even deserve. And
yes, you do. You deserve
it. No. I mean, I think God put us together in our covenant relationship, just because of his grace and mercy. Right? He knew who I needed to be with. He knew who would actually. He knew who would actually encourage me. He knew who would have my back, and he knew that we would be working together in this space. So it wasn't a surprise to him, but it kind of just blows my mind that he paired me with someone of this caliber. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's what I tell Carlos is, because we know the Father, and the Father is the one that has taught us how to love, no matter what. Because I wouldn't be able to love him the way I love him more today than I did when I first walked down the aisle, or when I first thought I was googly in love with him.
Which took a while, but she got there.
But I believe he is the ultimate. God is the ultimate one that shows you and teaches you how to love.
Yeah,
because he is love. And as long as we kept that in him, he said that before, but I said, but we're following God together. And because he's leading us, he's directing our paths, he's telling us which way to go. The truth is in his word. And I believe that because we study his love, it just flows through us.
Yeah.
And so, yes. So when he felt that way in the beginning, I was just like, why? If God is love, and that's who we're studying, that's who we're following, that's who our foundation is. But it takes the love of God to, I guess,
that's some real talk. I mean, it's again one of the gifts that God gives us when we are in a relationship with him and then with one another, right? Again, we get to announce that love. We get to remind each other of that love. We get to embody it in really important ways. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story, and then I'm a hush. I think I told y'all that shortly after we got married, we were in a terrible car accident.
Yes.
And when I say messed up, y'all saw the episode of Martin where he got in a fight with Tommy Hearns, and he was disfigured, bubbled up, mouth dragging, everything.
Wow.
I was disfigured.
All of this.
All of this. I had 170 stitches from ear to ear. This eyelid was perforated. All of this was smashed and scarred. I had post-traumatic amnesia and all kinds of, and I know that my oldest child was conceived while I was healing.
Wow.
Because she loved on me.
Wow.
She kissed me like wasn't nothing wrong. She didn't. I saw myself and was startled. There was a period of time where I couldn't stand up and couldn't look in the mirror, and wouldn't nobody tell me how bad it was. The first time I stood in you don't know how vain you are till you go through something like that, right? I got in the mirror and I was like, oh my. I look like Frankenstein, the way his skin was pieced back together, and she embraced me and loved me. And even when the doctor told her after 4 months of marriage,
after 4 months,
told her you might have to take care of him the rest of his life.
Said I might have to feed him and he'll be in a wheelchair. And I was like, wow.
And she loved me through that. And after 2 years of me moping around and grieving and being depressed, that love made her put a boot in my backside because she didn't tell me any of what the doctor said about my prognosis. Feeling down and distraught and kept forgetting stuff and would have these spells. And she said, look, and I can't say it verbatim, but what she said, if you knew what that doctor told me when we were in that ER, you would start thanking God. And you've been down because it was 2 years, y'all. 2 years. It's time for you to get up.
So, Adrian, what were some of those actions that of how you loved him through that situation?
I tried to be supportive. There was so much physical going on. He had to take medication for so much pain. He was off work a lot. He had to be. I mean, he was trying to get himself together. Man.
I mean, she is so patient.
Wow.
Like she would have to drop me off when I was going to work. And we had a ritual because it's a pre-cell phone, all of that. Just call me.
Yeah.
And she would call me, hang up, and I would call her back like she ain't called me. That's how messed up the front of my brain was.
Yeah, I mean, but it was bleeding. So I mean, that's what happens. But
so it was a brain bleed. That was
I had a frontal contusion.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it was to that extent.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I'm not even 21 yet. So we're still in school. We got to work. I got to figure out how to take care of him, and I'm going to do what I can. It wasn't a question. It was like, just tell me what to do. Because love says, what, you give up because it's hard? No, I was going to figure it out somehow. And it didn't make sense to do anything else.
Yeah. Right. That's good. Yeah, that's for better or for worse that you go through, because you didn't know after 4 months that you were going to be in a car accident that would alter your lives for the next 2 years and what that looked like. And so when people say I didn't sign up for that, but yes, you did. You did. And thank God he matched you all together for you to be there and have his back and front and side and face and all of that, to help do that. Wow. What, Alvin and Victoria, have you guys had anything that traumatic or that just where you guys had to love each other through that challenging situation? We're laughing. What are they laughing?
I'm trying to figure out what he get ready to
say. I mean, we haven't
had a lot of traumatic experiences. What do you mean?
I ain't say traumatic. He was just saying an experience where we had to
it was challenging. Yes.
Love each other through.
Yes.
I just think the biggest part of it, really, Carlos, once we started getting a hold of who we are in Christ, what people may have, I can see what people view as traumatic, that we were so focused on him and him being in us, he kept us from seeing it that way. We just didn't see it that way. We understand it, when we look back on it, we like, man, God, you really walked us through that.
Right. And that's what I was saying, because I think it's important for the viewers to see that or hear that. It's like, yeah, this was hard, or it would be challenging in the natural, but because of our relationship, God was able to really provide and help us walk through that so that we had the right perspective. So I was just to give those viewers like, under the natural eye, this would be challenging.
We did have a situation with my health where I had to end up having an emergency surgery.
Okay.
I had planned to have surgery to get to take care of it. But then it decided to do something different. And so then I had to have emergency surgery. But, you know, during that entire time that was happening, when he talks about having a different perspective, it's like the entire time we're going through it, it's like he's praying over me. He's praying for the doctors. He's praying for the anesthesiologist. He praying with the guy that comes to wheel me in and take me into the surgery, you know. Then I get out of the surgery. That took about 6 hours for them to do the surgery. And then I come out of the surgery and I'm laying there and I'm waking up. And this is just like the prayer of him covering me. It's like the nurse comes in and she was like, Miss Parker, you haven't taken any pain medicine. And I was like, no. And so then she started looking. She said, where is your pain? And so the button that I'm supposed to press was stuck in between the bed frame and my mattress. And so she was like, she looked at it and was like, you haven't taken any pain medicine. I said, I'm not in any pain.
Wow.
And so, you know, at that time, like my pastor had prayed over a cloth. He brought the cloth in. I had it under my hospital gown. I'm getting up. I'm moving. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. Y'all gonna take these tubes out of me. I won't go home. There they go. There she go again. There she go again. I said, yeah, I need y'all to see me because I'm ready to get out of here. But all of that was him just covering me in prayer and me laying his hands on me while I'm sleeping and praying for me and just praying for things to work the way that they need to pray. That's just how he was loving me out loud. It's like, then I get home and it's tough getting out the bed because I'm wrapped up. He in his sleep and raises his hands up like this in his sleep so that I can grab his hand, lift myself up so I can go to the restroom and then he go back to sleep. Like he feels me moving.
Yes.
And he just raises his hand up like, here you go. Grab my hand and help you get yourself up so you can go to the restroom. I mean, those kinds of things. It's like, I know that was nothing but the Holy Ghost waking him up. But he was awake, but he wasn't awake. Because then as soon as I get up to make it to the restroom, he's snoring. The arm came up when it was time for me to get out that bed. Because he knew.
Yes.
But see, that's what I'm talking about, because I don't know if other people would think, okay, she's going to have surgery. I'm just going to pray that everything goes well. But if Alvin is praying with the person that's wheeling you in, and then he's praying over you, then he's praying for the doctors and the anesthesiologists and the nurses and
everybody that's going to touch me.
Everybody that's going
to be in my room. He's saying, can I pray with y'all?
They yes.
And they all willing. They're like, sure.
Yes.
Yes.
And then for them to see the manifestation of it where you're not even using the button, because you know I could wear that button out, right? It's like
it was a morphine drip, Carlos. A morphine drip. I never pushed the button.
Wow.
Never pushed the button.
That's what I'm saying.
I pushed the button.
I was surgery. I was our surgery.
They were removing fibroid tumors that had her uterus the size of being 16 weeks pregnant. Wow.
Yeah.
And she was getting ready. She said, Alvin, I need you to check something. I said, oh, Victoria, that don't look good. She had to go into emergency surgery. But that's one, but that wasn't the one I was thinking about.
Oh, wow.
What I was thinking about is when your mom passed.
That's wild.
When your mom passed, and I had to come to work and tell you that.
Yeah.
That one.
I was at work. And
that
he had to come. And I look up and he's standing at my office door.
That was the hard.
That
was like, one of the hardest days of my life.
What are you doing here? Then my boss comes around the corner, and then they shut the door, and I'm like, something has happened. What is going on? And he had to come and tell me that my mom had passed.
Man, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Totally unexpected. It was just.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
That was the one.
Yeah.
Because our relationship was so close when she would come to visit. My mother-in-law was a general manager at at the time she was Burger King. She was always turning these stores around, and so they were hiring. Well, I would go see her, 2-3 times a week. It was so bad that they thought she was the daughter-in-law and I was the son.
He was the son.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
That's like, so this is your daughter-in-law? She said, no, that's my baby. She said, he is my son, but he's my son-in-law, but he's my son.
Yeah.
So, it's just things like that. But again, just because he knows me, he knows what I need. He knows what he needs to say. And God has given him what he needs to say. And that's what we're saying, to the couples. That's how you love out loud, is when they tell you what to say. You spend enough time with that person that you know what that person needs. You know what that person likes. Like, he knows when I come home, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna get with it, trying to figure out something to eat, wash clothes, whatever. He gone to go spend time with, our pastor and another one of his friends to have lunch. And so I wouldn't have to he's not eating with me. So he prepared something so I wouldn't have to go out and figure out something to eat. He just did what he knew to do and what he knows I like. And so that's how you can do it. But some of that stuff I was thinking when Mixon was talking, he's like, we just say we love you to each other, and it wasn't modeled in front of us. And the most interesting thing when he said that, it made me think about coming back from Latin America a couple of weeks ago. And they are some of the most affectionate people I have ever seen in my life. They are constantly holding hands, touching, kissing, hugging, even at work in the elevator.
Really?
Hugged up on each other. And I'm like, what is going on up in here? And so they had to explain to me that that's the culture.
Wow.
If you're not touching that person, embracing that person in that person's space, we call personal space. Get out of my personal space. They grew up. They're all up in each other's space. If you're not doing that, then I don't think you love me.
We need to.
And so that's a some things are cultural. Like were, but you don't do PDA out in public.
Yes.
Like, what's going on? I go by a park and it's like, that's the couples park, the lovers park. I said, oh Lord, if you're doing all this in the elevator, I ain't going to that park. Like, no kids allowed over there.
That's funny.
Some of that could be cultural because we're taught how to display affection. That's why we're having this conversation. How do you do it out loud? You don't have to have that conversation with people in Latin America. They know how. Because they show up. In the store, in the restaurant, they up in the restaurant. I'm like, get a room. I need some dinner. Get a room. But that's normal. That's normal for their culture. So it can be cultural, learning how to express things.
Well, I love what Adrian said. Go ahead, Alvin, and then I want to comment. Adrian said.
I just want to encourage people in this, because you can hear things that, well, I don't know if I could do that. And I just want to encourage people that all of this is drawn on the love of God that's been placed in every born-again believer at the new birth. Romans 5:5 says that the love of God has been shed abroad in our heart by the Holy Ghost who's been given to us. And in your own strength, that's difficult. But when you draw on that and meditate on scriptures like that, the Holy Ghost will start giving you ideas or unctioning you to do certain things. That thought to wash the clothes before she came home, that ain't just a fleeting thought. That's the Holy Ghost saying, hey, there's something here that could be a blessing to your spouse and do it. So I just want to encourage people that sometimes when people hear these things, I don't know, that's just not me. Yes, it is, because the love of God is in you, and you have to start saying that out loud before it can become an action out loud.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that.
You need to say those words proceed, or they come before the actual loving out loud. You have to say, the love of God's in me, and I yield to that love today. And I think about that love today. And I express that love today, because that's my nature. That's who I am. I am love.
Yeah.
Love is in me. The greater one's in me is love.
Yeah.
Well, I love what Adrian
The
had said
words,
too,
that's
which is
fantastic.
great, Alvin. I love that when we have a 21-year-old newly married, 4 months, and something
Yeah.
happens. What
Yeah.
she said was,
He just
I
makes this.
yeah, I just did it.
Yeah.
That's what I
just
do.
makes us to figure it out.
I'm gonna figure it out instead of like losing her mind or getting depressed because she's like, her love has been transferred to her husband.
Supernatural.
I want to make sure. So I just hearing from you, Adrian, in that space right there, how would you encourage couples, especially if they're going through those kind of challenging situations, being young and new in their relationships?
What she said when she said that, what that said to me was, I choose my marriage.
Come on.
That's what she said. At 21, I choose my spouse. I choose my marriage.
Oh,
that's what I heard when she said.
I'm just dropping the mic now.
I choose my marriage.
That was good, Victoria.
No matter what.
That's good.
Wow. I wasn't even 21 yet. Wow. No. I was not 21 yet. No, I was just 20. But
she knew the Lord.
I knew Jesus. It was one of those things you just know. I mean,
we knew. Look, when we were dating, we prayed together the first night we went.
Yeah.
We it's crazy as it sounds. We were listening to music. We found out that we had this bond around music. When we started listening to some gospel music, and it was like, yo, you heard this, or you heard that, or it just turned into And I knew that the spirit was present, and it's like, yo, this different.
Yeah.
This is something other than. And we prayed and went for a walk up Calhoun Street in Cincinnati, right there by University of Cincinnati.
See,
and stopped in front of St. George's Cathedral.
I know exactly.
I knew that this was my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she knew that I was her husband. And
so did anybody ever talk to you guys about as you were going through that? Well, you may not remember, Adam, so but just, Adrian, about how are you doing this, or what help do you need, or just how are you walking this, like your friends? What was that like?
People were supportive. Like if we had needs that needed to be met, I can definitely say people were praying with us and for us.
Yes.
But to have somebody check in individually, how are you handling this? No, that didn't happen. And it's not because people didn't care. I think it was just so much going on, and just had your head down to keep going and figure it out as you go. But no, I've been able to process it over the years, but it was a matter of what other option is there at this moment. I don't know what to do, but I'm gonna figure it out because it matters too much. This person matters too much.
Yes.
So even beyond physical issues that some of us have, somebody tonight might be struggling with the fact that they're just at odds with their spouse, and you don't necessarily like them. How do you be loud when you guys are at odds or stuff's not right? There's a strain. It's not always the physical. It becomes a whisper at that point. It's not loud anymore. It's like, you see, I'm here, I'm paying the bills, so you ought to know that I love you. That's the whisper, but we have to try to get past that. Our emotions is what makes it whisper.
Right. I think there's something to that. And I think, again, there is a real tendency, and Alvin, you started the conversation off by talking about practicing gratitude. Again, there's something wrong with us inherently, I think, because of sin, that makes us always imagine what we're missing. Right? That was the trick in the garden. You're missing something. So if you do this, then you'll have that. There's that trick, this illusion that you're somehow lacking something. And that to me is what ingratitude looks like. That's what being ungrateful is. Instead of considering all that you have, the access that you have, the goodness that you enjoy, you start thinking about what you might be missing, or what you think you're lacking, or what your spouse might be lacking, or where they're coming up short. Instead of announcing, thank God for the way she washes these sheets. Thank God for the way
he throws his hand up to help me up.
Start with the simplest stuff. Start calling those things out, and you'll start finding out that the stuff that you were calling a loss, a lack, or something, it's some nonsense. It's a trick. It's a trick. To realize the gift that God has given you in your spouse, and how oftentimes God has deposited in them the medicine, the salve for your wounds. Yeah,
and I'm trying to think about what would that look like if you did not have your spouse love God the way that they do.
I don't know how people do it. I'm just gonna tell you flat out.
They don't. What do you mean?
That's it. They don't.
I don't know what that is. I can't imagine.
I think about it. You got as long as we've known Alvin and Victoria, which is 30 plus years at this point, we've always seen a very sacred, respectful, loving on each other relationship. And it's it's been consistent the entire time. So they've built their relationship of loving out loud on the word of God, and it's produced this fruit that people have seen over again. And here's what I love about them, and I'm speaking about you guys too, the mixes, but here's what I love about them. It's not about who sees them. It's about who they serve. And they're consistent in their allegiance to God. And through that, they have had a thriving marriage despite what has happened. And people don't live their lives in that vein. They just, as couples, they don't live that.
The foundation. I think we talked about that for weeks. Right?
Can I add one thing just to help people out?
Please.
Our relationship didn't begin as spiritual as the mixes did. Our relationship started. I want to put that out there. Our relationship started in the flesh. And God helped us because we realized we needed to do that. And as we yielded to him, because I think people need to hear that aspect of it, because they hear where you are now. We didn't always think like this. And so as we fed on the word and as we kept yielding to God, and we decided from the get up, divorce is not an option.
That part.
It's not an option. And both her parents were on their third marriage. My mom was on her second, and my dad never remarried. So it wasn't like we had all these stalwart examples of we were taught by our pastors how to be married, and we took God at his word and said, okay, this is our answer, this is our guide, and so divorce is not an option. And girl, if you that mad, just go to bed. We'll figure it out in the morning.
Because we ain't going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere. So give me some time to meditate on this word. It's an answer in here somewhere. It's in here.
Because again, that is so real, right? You don't start here, you get here. right?
Right.
Yeah.
Those
And
right there.
it takes practice. It take practice. It take practice. It take rehearsing and repeating those words. Man, I was thinking about you, Alvin, this week, where you kept repeating. I love my wife and not be bitter. I love her. It comes with this. You have to
do that
again without appealing to a power greater than ourselves, without relying on God. This is just me, and I don't want to get the podcast in trouble. I don't know how folks out here. I don't know how you have loving, meaningful, lasting relationships, and it's just, "Ooh, I love you. Oh, you love me." No, I love Jesus. And one of the conversations me and Adrian had early on, I was like, as long as we both loving Jesus, we cool. We can rock
that'll keep you from messing up.
anything.
Yes.
We can rock through. If Jesus is at the center, we'll rock through all of it.
That's exactly
right.
The moment you
Come on.
ever try to make me choose between obeying God, matter of fact, I told her, I said, I'd do anything but sin for you. I said, don't ever make me choose between you and the Lord. Don't put me in that predicament.
Right.
And I know,
Yes, I do.
and I know that don't sound romantic, because that ain't the love
It's
song.
the truth.
It's the most romantic thing you can say.
It
Come
is.
on
It is
now.
the most romantic thing you can say.
If we follow the
Be
Lord,
like
we
Joe, woman, you stop fooling. You don't
Yeah.
sound like the wife.
that's
Look,
a silly
look, Mixon, you said don't make me choose. My husband said, "Girl, if you decide you don't want to do that no more, bye." Yeah, that's what you told me. But I ain't quitting because you decide that you don't want to do this.
Yes.
Listen,
That's his other word of don't make me choose because I'm gonna choose him every time.
Every time.
Every time.
the beauty of that is that it has a way of working out.
Yeah.
Because both of you all are choosing Jesus.
It's built.
Yeah,
It's
and
Both
because
of you all are choosing.
yeah, and because I love the Lord as a man, I live to make sure that she becomes who she's supposed to be,
Yes.
and doesn't want for anything. If I can do something about it, and that makes me sound like a broken Babyface song or something, or whatever the words they're using out here now.
Baby
You
face.
talking about buy your clothes.
Don't get it too. As soon as I get home from work, I would do it. I would do it if it's gonna mean that she becomes who God created her to be.
We don't own the rights to that song, and just let everybody.
Definitely not the version I just sang. I'm sorry, Babyface. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, good stuff.
Man, this has been good. With
good
just
conversation.
The words that we say and the actions that we display, and all centered around Jesus. And I love how we ended this conversation that if you ain't loving Jesus,
man, how can a man love God?
I'm just saying.
Trying to make me.
So can I just tell you guys? I know we're getting close to timeout. Can I just kind of tell you guys how I loved my wife out loud this past weekend?
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
So we would have been in Birmingham, but she was competing in the district level for Toastmasters and the international speech competition, which she had to compete against other competitors, a 5 to 7 minute speech on anything that she wanted to speak about. And prior to that, we were practicing and going through. And my thing is I'm going to encourage you. You ready? I'm praying for you, all of that. And then, she had to just bring home the first.
All right, 2026.
Let's go. She brought home first place, baby.
Yeah.
So celebrate everything. Like let's celebrate that first sentence you said. Oh yeah, we're gonna celebrate
out
that.
loud. That's
Out loud.
out loud.
Celebrate out loud,
Yes,
baby.
woo,
So
woo.
we celebrate.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so
Thank
that's
you
so
so much.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So
And it's green. It's
And
green.
it's
Can you believe that?
Thank you, Albert.
It's a dream for me. Yeah.
Exhilarated
Dream.
and it's exhausting at the same time, but I'm so grateful for Carlos's support.
Wow.
And you know, he can be on 20. And y'all know how he
How did
is.
you contain yourself, Carlos? I knew you wanted to bust.
But he really was. He was like, "You don't do anything.
You
I
don't do
got
nothing."
this." And I'm like, "You need help with," because we had some other things coming up. And he was like, "No, I just need you to be in your space. Don't worry about this. I got this." And that's that. You talk about loving out loud. That was truly a blessing for me, and it brought such peace and calmness to what I was up against on Saturday.
And she was like, "Well, I'm not gonna go to lunch. I'm just gonna stay in. This was on Saturday." I said, "Good. You stay in your room. I'll do whatever you want to do that puts you in a space that you can focus.
Yeah.
Everything you need to do, that's what we're gonna do. So
Yes.
you don't have any extra responsibility other than to deliver the speech. That's all you do.
Ladies, that felt so good. Okay. I'm like, when you come back to the hotel room, like, who's this coming in my room?
So that's just one example of
loving out loud.
And here's the thing is that when I love her out loud, and if she wins, not only just in competition, but just in her mental space, her physical health, all of that, when she wins, I win too.
You do.
Yeah, that's right.
You do.
So
All your bone, flesh your flesh. That's a win for both.
Exactly.
And those words were just powerful, just to even say, I'm giving you space to do that. I'm giving you room to just take that time. And we said earlier, like, your words are life, because God spoke the existence.
Yes.
And he used words, and we need to keep that in mind as we are loving our spouses in whatever seasons of life that we are in. Your words matter, and the way you say it, your actions matter.
All right now, Toastmaster, go ahead.
I know, right?
Go ahead with your bad self. Go ahead.
Yes.
I just want to encourage our listeners. That's all.
So I was extremely excited now, because now both of us have won at this level, which is the highest level that you can get in the district. So both of us have actually accomplished.
All you do is win, huh?
All we do is win. Okay.
No.
It's not over yet.
It's not over.
It's not over yet. I got
Yeah.
another opportunity
Yes.
for me to go to another level, but
This
that's
is
but
outstanding.
we'll see. I'm just like believing God for that. I'm just grateful to be able to tell my story and to share that with others and offer healing and just
You said and
peace.
5 times. Okay. That's
Okay.
good.
Peace.
That's already on.
Hey everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us for this session
Yes.
Wow.
of Popcorn Conversation.
Wow.
Loving each other out loud. Don't be silent with that. Don't be silent.
Yes.
Go out.
Say it
Love
out.
each other out loud. Words, actions,
Yeah.
and presence.
Mm-hmm.
Which
So then, y'all, do you have any last minute comments in like 30 seconds before we close out? Parkers, you got anything?
Yeah, I'll leave you with this. Proverbs 12:18 says, "There's that speaketh like a piercing of a sword, but the tongue of wise is health."
Yeah.
That word health in the Hebrew means medicine, it means remedy, it means cure. So the remedy to the situation is right up under your nose, your mouth.
Right up under your nose.
That's good stuff.
remedy. to the
Real good
situation.
stuff. Mixins, y'all got anything for 30 seconds?
I would offer this to the couple that's struggling right now. Maybe y'all been arguing and going at each other, and who's right, who's wrong, whatever that situation is. Season your words with love.
That's good.
Please, because long after whatever that circumstance is passes, those words will continue to resound. So please season your words with love. Be careful with them.
Yeah. People won't always remember what you say. They'll always remember how it made them feel.
Awesome. On that note, with Maya Angelou, really appreciate that quote there. That's awesome. So thank you all for joining us tonight on Popcorn Conversations. Hopefully this has been life-giving, inspiring for you, and that you would actually take all of the suggestions, recommendations, and Bible foundation of this conversation and apply it to your relationship. And with that being said, you guys, until we meet again, let's get
yes.
Thank you all so much.
Love me in a special way.